I often talk about how strange the world that we're living in is, how I find it to be an incredibly odd place, an alienating place, a place that rarely makes sense, and when I use this phrase, strange world, or it's a strange world, it's partly to complement it because I think when we think about alienating things that are difficult to understand, we think about them in negative terms. But I think, on the other hand, this adds a layer of intrigue to the planet and the people in it. As difficult as it can be at times, it also makes it an enchanting place as well. And by having that perspective, I find that it's easier for me to continue exploring and and kind of feeling things out. No matter how difficult they may be, they're always strange, which is nice in its own right. Um, I also find it just kind of like satisfying to say. Like, I like to call things strange. Like, I there's a lot of official people in the world. I won't get into who they are or what my relationship to them is, but um, when I'm talking to my mom, I'll just call them the strange people, and always be like, "What's so strange about them? I don't know what you're talking about." I like calling things strange. So, I was reading this interesting article from the BBC called Humans Need Solitude: How Being Alone Makes You Happier. And of course, the painting that they use for the article is above the sea of fog, which is a particularly famous painting about this topic, one that I used to see get posted on like R9K on 8chan and also on WizardChan quite a lot back when, well, one of those isn't around anymore. The other is just a complete shell of its former self. But, back when image boards were good, I used to see this image posted around a lot. And I think the reason why this painting resonated with people on there so much, people similar to myself, at least in some ways, um, is because it very pointedly describes, conveys rather, the feeling of euphoria that can come from solitude, the feeling of euphoria that can come from taking in and observing the world as it is without necessarily having your mind clouded by the presence of others. It's a very particular feeling. And in this article, they talk about how, in the advent of the China plague, there was kind of this move that people made toward socializing more and getting out more. Um, and what some people now believe is that we had actually overcorrected after that had occurred, where people have become over socialized, overstimulated, too into the social world, and that actually, by spending more time by oneself, you can, develop more self control, cultivate more skills, or simply enjoy yourself doing things that matter to you. Now, I really like this concept, and I like that attention is being called to this matter because, as they say here, the idea that, rom-coms and love songs and Jane Austen novels put out there that you need a partner to be happy is just not true. Having a partner can be extremely fulfilling. It can add a lot to one's life, and that's not even the main focus of this article. The main focus of this article isn't even relationships, it's more just alone time in general. But that is a good example of how we're kind of like memed into believing that by living in the most social world, we actually are doing ourselves a favor, when I think in many cases we're doing ourselves a disservice. If you're so socialized that you've lost all track of what you want, of what you think, and of what you enjoy doing, then you're going to run into some problems. You're probably not going to have the most fulfilling life. Whereas if you spend a lot of time pursuing a skill that can benefit you over the course of your life, that can increase the extent to which you feel satisfied, that can increase the extent to which you are educated or enlightened, that can increase the feeling of I don't know, maybe you could say je sens, like that French concept of like euphoria for life itself. I think all of this stuff, uh, like you arrive at all of these things through actually spending the time to work on yourself, find out what matters a lot to you, what's meaningful to you, and then going after it. And sometimes that involves other people, like starting a band or something maybe, but a lot of the time that involves spending a lot of time alone. And I think at this point that's an undersold and understated part of the story. Not everybody is as much of a weirdo as me, where they just literally enjoy being in their room all the time, or they like going to the forest with no one around and, spending the vast majority of their life by themselves. Most people probably aren't like that, but a lot more of them could use, time by themselves, time pursuing things that they care about, or trying to find the things that they don't yet know that they care about. It's all very important. It wants me to express that I'm using HDMI every time I turn this thing on. Like, what is it with this hack that makes it to where it just can't remember? It just cannot remember what my settings are. Okay. Let's go to, where's the install packages utility? Package manager? I think it's in here. Install package files from a mass storage device. Hold up. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read very well. Oh, yeah, this is everything right here. I'm trying to add this thing. Hell yeah, let's go, bro. Install completed. We've got PSN patch on here now. Now I objectively am risking getting my account banned by using this. But but it's that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I don't think I have Webman on here. Let's add Webman, because why not? That's a useful application. It does things from my understanding. There's one method you can use to get your console online using this thing, but I think it's not as recommended as just using the PSN spoofer. I don't know. Also, the latest update that they've put onto PlayStation might really make it to where I cannot do things this way. I mean, we'll just have to see. PSN patch. Let's see. Okay, I'm not gonna show you guys me logging in though. Oh, I don't know what the hell is happening now. I turned on the PSN patcher, and now it's just a black screen. I didn't see this in any of the YouTube videos that talked about this thing. It's just a black screen. Did I break my console? What's going on? I don't fucking know, man. This shit is above my pay grade. So I figured out what's going on, most likely. I think the version of Hen that I'm using is too old. So what I need to do is go to the internet and download the latest version of Hen and then update it on my PlayStation 3. And after I do that, then I think the software that I added will start to work, maybe? Let's see. Bro, I literally did not sleep last night. This is a lot of text. There's a lot going on. Oh boy. Pretty close to just literally giving up on this PlayStation 3 endeavor, like trying to get it to work, because I did not break my system as the cliffhanger that I left on, that I left the last video about this subject on would have suggested. I just needed to restart, but I cannot seem to update the HIN for the life of me. I think something's literally corrupted on the system from how whoever had this before, they fucked it up. They didn't install it correctly because it's not letting me update it. So that's weird. I'm drinking a Red Bull right now because I'm having a miserable, sleepy day. One where my brain is just not up to par. And the reason for this is because I've entered a strange sleep cycle again where I sleep 2 times rather than 1. So what happened was I started taking this non-narcotic medicine, not consistently, but just a couple times to see what it would do. And then, as I predicted, my sleep ended up getting fixed as I let myself fall into a nocturnal schedule. And I took that medicine to get me to sleep and to keep me asleep. But for whatever reason, what my body seems to want to do when I don't have the medicine and when I try to switch it to a regular sleep schedule where I'm not nocturnal, instead of developing a regular sleep schedule, I just end up sleeping 2 times rather than 1, which is really uncomfortable. It always leaves me waking up feeling like shit, waking up tired, not being able to really think at the same level as normal. It's just awful. I don't like it, and I don't want to exist like this, to be frank, but I don't know how to get out of it. That's the thing. I'm in such a strange mode right now, and I can't say it's because I've been inactive, because I move constantly. So I don't fucking know, man. It's driving me crazy. I think what I might do is actually just quit caffeine altogether for a while and then see if that positively affects my sleep, even though caffeine is really important for my productivity and my cognition. I'm just going to give it up for a while and just study less than I was. I'm still going to do a lot of Anki because Anki is pretty easy for me to do. But instead of doing a lot of the drills for the concepts and stuff, I think what I'm going to do instead is just listen to a lot in the language, just a lot of listening, to stuff that I can understand, that I can comprehend, and watch TV shows that I can understand. Just do that all day for a while. I don't know how long it's going to be, a week or 2 weeks or something, however long it takes my body to sort of situate itself without caffeine. I think overall it takes a month, but usually after 2 weeks, I'm good. After a couple days, the headaches stop coming. So yeah, I think I'm going to give that a try and see how it affects my sleep, to see if it's positive or not, because man, I am living in hell. My sleep was bad recently in the sense that I was awake at night rather than the daytime, but I was sleeping once, rather than multiple times. Now I'm back to sleeping multiple times again. This is hell. And I tried to stay up. Until nighttime today. Frankly, I should have drank a higher caliber energy drink in order to push through, in order to make it all the way to the late night. But I did not do that. I just toughed it out, or at least I tried to. And instead of staying awake, there came a moment in the middle of the afternoon when I was just oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't stay awake any longer. And I went to sleep. And then I woke up and I was like, fuck, I've been asleep for 4 hours. Very similar amount of time to the time that I spent asleep last night when I went to sleep too early. Last night, I went to sleep at 12 a.m. and I woke up what was it? I went to sleep at like 12:30 actually, and I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So 3.5 hours there. I spent some time awake. I was awake until like 12:30 in the afternoon, something like that. I go to sleep, and then I wake up at like 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's like fuck. It's like 7 hours and 30 minutes of sleep in total. That's enough for a person, like that's like the required amount at a minimum, but it's in two sleeps. It's in two different fucking, I just want to get it in one, man. It's so frustrating. Why can't my body just be normal?